Welcome, Voyagers. In this episode, we chatted with Katie Marie, intuitive spiritual guide, Reiki energy healer, and owner of the popular Instagram account Everything Aligns. We discuss her incredible near-death experience, sudden onset of her abilities, and healing techniques. I'm your host, Lauren Leon.
And I'm Frank.
We are a married couple learning how to develop our own intuition, and this is episode 37 of Clairvoyaging. Wayfeather Media presents Clairvoyaging.
Welcome.
Oh, that snap was off.
Yep. Yeah. You'd never know that we were musicians.
That. Almost a lifelong musician, singer.
Right on the beat.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Hello. Welcome. How's it, Frank?
It good.
It good? You feeling right as rain today?
I'm feeling good.
Okay. Hey, Frank, I have fun news.
What you got?
Well, our new pal, Joshua, wrote us a review on Apple Podcasts. He sent us a screenshot of it. Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you, Joshua. Josh is a cool dude.
Yeah, it's a really nice review, and I won't read the entire thing, but I do want to answer something that he wrote. In his review, he said, quote, "I thought the title was catchy, and I'm curious about which of the two hosts coined the phrase." And I believe that it was Frank. You came up with Clairvoyager. And then we realized that name was kind of taken by a blog or a band or something. And we landed on a more active name of Clairvoyaging.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah. And we said, well, this is kind of like more of an ongoing process. We're bringing you along for the ride. So here we are, Clairvoyaging. So it was Frank that started it, and then we kind of evolved it from there.
And listen, I'd like to claim that, that's just, any Tuesday for me coming up with a great name. I have spreadsheets from bands I've been in where I take a bunch of different words and how do you come up with a new word? Because I got news for anybody in a band out there. You know what I'm talking about. All the words are taken.
Yeah.
So you got to start coming up with new. We're probably a year away from having bands that are just numbered.
Wait, okay. We had a band that we have together called Wayfeather, which is why we're Wayfeather Media, because we kept it. But it's true. Frank, when he comes up with something, he's like, I've got it. And then I'm like, did you check to see if it was taken first? He's like, no. So, but it's a whole process of spreadsheets and what's the vibe and collecting words that go together.
It's not natural. And I got to say, I remember I tried to name some of our short films too. And it does not go well.
No, not for me either.
Yeah. But hey, Joshua, you know what? I like this title too. I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah. We feel good about this one. Also, side note, my dad suggested that we put our Wayfeather music on our website. Would that be kind of fun? You can purchase our
Are you waiting for an answer? Listeners, would that be fun?
Yeah. Tell us.
We'll wait.
We just sit here silently for 45 minutes.
Yeah, we made a little EP. We gave it out as a
wedding favor.
Wedding favor, yeah. It was at everyone's table.
When we first started dating, we had this crazy surge of creativity, and it was just because we were in a band already, but we were let's write separate music that is just the story to tell, and it's 5 or 6 songs, and
it's a quick concept album.
Yeah,
but yeah. The band we were in before, that's actually available on Spotify. Yeah, go look up the Slater Sisters.
Yeah, that's how we met.
You're going to hear Lauren singing.
Hey.
She's, I might come up with the podcast names, but Lauren's got the voice of an angel.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Well, Frank plays guitar, and he's got the fingers of...
It's going to get weird.
There's not an equivalent. Fingers of the devil.
Wow. That's fine. I still throw up. I've actually had a bit of an impasse lately because I'll still throw the devil horn sometimes, just oh yeah, cool, rock and roll. And I'm like, oh man, wait, now we're in the spiritual endeavors these days. I'm like, is that not cool anymore?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I started following this dude on Instagram. his like mission is to re-enchant life as you know it. And he says that re-enchantment is resistance. And he throws up the devil horns as a way to like say, hey, like, let's get back to being creative and creative thinking.
Okay.
He's a bit of a Gnostic.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Anything goes.
I don't know.
You're always going to offend someone.
It's true.
In some way. Also, I'm doing these meditation videos and like, I keep getting like comments. Like, I don't know if they delete them after the fact, but they're like, this is not a spirit. I'm like, I'm not going to engage in this. Like, boo.
Oh, guess
like,
who's not coming to our party? Yeah. Boring.
They're like, I'm sorry. Someone was like, I'm sorry to tell you that's not your brother's spirit. He is in the judgment place or something. I was like,
no,
go away. I'm sorry.
See,
but don't impose your shit on me.
That's the like glass ceiling. Like that's where your belief system is like, you know, making your life worse.
Yeah. Like just leave me alone. Let me have my thing. Just don't comment. If you don't believe it, just don't comment. Anyway, it's fine.
This is America.
I said delete. I deleted his comment. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good case for curating comments.
Yeah. But back to just a thank you, Joshua, for your amazing review. And
yeah, Joshua. Thanks, pal.
We took a long walk. Please send us your mailing address and we can get you a sweet, sweet promo pack.
Hope you like it.
You will.
And if you don't tell us.
Okay. And one more thing, another update. Frank, help me out with this one. We are setting up a Patreon.
Oh, we're going to announce this now?
Are we?
Sure, let's go for it.
Okay. More details will be available probably next week, but we want to start giving exclusive access to more stuff.
Look, here's the thing. We've met a couple of you. Well, met you over the internets, over the emails, and, you know, folks like Joshua, like Have a Story and Carolyn, and we've had a couple of other people who've just been like loyal listeners and have sent a
Lori and Kimberly. There's a lot of people that are like on their journey to, or just beginning or something like that. And yeah.
And like, first of all, we love hearing from you and we read everything. And second of all, like part of the, you know, again, the reason we made this podcast is because we want to make a community. So we're thinking about launching a little bit of almost a secondary series where we are actually talking directly to our listeners or anybody that's in the middle of a spiritual journey, even if you don't even have any intuitive or psychic abilities that you know of yet. If you're just on the journey and you want to chat a little bit, dude, let's talk. Let's talk because this is fun. And you know what? We love you.
Yes. I want to know, like, because it's so fun to hear, like, where are you now? Or like, where were you, 6 months ago or something? And like,
where are you now? Where were you then?
Where are you? Isn't that a song?
It's a Bieber.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And yeah, we want to hear give us the updates because it's fun. It's, we get advice from the professionals that have been doing it for a while or something, but to kind of like hang with our peers for a little bit. And also we all feel like we're in this together. We are clairvoyaging together. I think that would be really cool.
I also recently read a post on Reddit saying, hey, podcasters out there, what's up with you talking so much before your episodes? Can you stop? And everyone was like, please stop.
I was just thinking that this is a lengthy intro.
You know what? I don't care. We're doing something else here. We're doing something different.
We're so different.
We're not like other girls.
I keep thinking about how long this intro is, and I'm so sorry. Anyway, let's take it away to Katie Marie, who is an absolute pleasure.
Tell me more about Katie Marie.
She had an incredible NDE, and in her intro, she just like blew through it, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, we get back to that.
Yeah. So we hear about her near-death experience. She is very, very cool.
We enjoyed her, and as usual, I think we made a new friend.
Yes. They're all just such pals.
We're going to do something. I don't know what we're going to do. We got to do something.
We were like texting after.
No, I know.
No, I mean like I was texting with her.
Like we got to do with all of our like.
I know. It was just a side note.
Yeah, all of our guests. I want to do something cool. I want to do something. I wish maybe one day we'll have enough guests to like have a convention. Everybody get together and let's
clairvoyaging convention.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You just put it out there into the world.
I guess I did.
Universe? I don't know.
manifest this.
Are we ready for that?
No. But let's go.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Katie.
Take it away,
Go!
Katie. Katie Marie, also known as Everything Aligns. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you got to doing what you do now? What brought you here? It's a big question, I know.
Yeah. I guess a bunch of trial and error, you could say. But so I started off doing Reiki and healing when I was really young. And then, of course, had my near-death experience. But even then, having that incident didn't just like make things take off from there. It was like a long journey of, I don't want to do this kind of work. I don't want to do this kind of work. I don't want to do this kind of work. And then finally, with things, other life things not working out, it's kind of like it pushes you into it. And you're like, all right, fine, I surrender. This is the work I'm supposed to be doing type deal.
Yeah.
And I started Everything Aligns back in 2018 when I was actually home fighting Lyme disease. I was sick with Lyme disease and just kind of on bed rest, literally couldn't do anything but get better, and finally got diagnosed after having it for 10 years and not knowing. So I was really sick. And I just always had this thing in my head where I knew everything aligned, things always will work out. So whatever. And with my page, I would use it as like a Pinterest, and I was really in tune to the energy already. But then I just started getting curious with stuff, and I don't know, I would pin things thinking it was my page, not thinking people would follow. And then people just started following. And I'm like, okay, so I just let it keep building. But then it got to a point where it was so big. I was like, I have to do something with this. And by then I had started getting better with my Lyme disease treatment, that I just started picking up clients and doing work. And it just kind of like bumped me into it. So,
oh, wow.
Everything aligned,
Yeah. You casually mentioned a near-death experience. Can you?
Yeah, let's go back to that.
Can we?
Let me brush by that.
Yeah. Can we hear about that?
Yeah. Okay. So I was actually 19 when I had it. And you just want to hear the whole spiel?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was 19 and I was driving home, and I actually was going 65 and it was raining out. I actually hydroplaned into a tree.
Ooh.
Going 65, and the next, I don't remember the crash at all or anything. I just remember me hovering over, looking into the ambulance, and them ripping my clothes off and getting ready to jump me. Like I just remember watching the scene and the cop cars and everything around me. And then the next thing I remember, I was in the hospital room and watching them through a screen. Like I was like on the other side of the screen because they were on the inside of the room, and they were jumping me again. So I had passed away and they were bringing me back again. So with that being said, I also remember seeing just this tunnel. I was just in this tunnel, and it was just beautiful, bright, just this tunnel. And I was being carried out by my aunt, and my grandfather was on the other side with her, because they had passed away years ago, but they were very big influences in my life. So I was always very closely tied to them. But she carried me out of the light. She wouldn't let me go. She wouldn't let me walk further into the light. She wouldn't let me go any closer to it. So she carried me out and put me on this bench and was holding me with my grandfather standing next to me. And, I didn't know I was dead. I didn't know what was going on. I just was there. And I just remember the feeling, like this overwhelming love, this sense of peace, it was just magnificent. I mean, it was just this peace. I can't even put words to it. And the next thing I really remember was them telling me to smile. They wanted me to smile big for my parents, I guess. And I was just like, okay. So I remember smiling, and that's when I was like, I just remember the next thing I remember was I could feel my face, and I was like back in the world. I was back, but I was in a hospital bed. I had a severed liver. I had broken my ribs. I had crushed my knees. I had, multiple abrasions all over my body. It was really bad. So they had induced me into a coma. I'm not sure the time lapse between then and me waking up. But they had induced me into a coma to make sure everything was stable, and then brought me out of it. So that was that introduction. That was what sparked my, I guess, abilities in a sense, with things that followed after that built up.
So what first of all, that's an incredible story.
Yeah, my gosh.
And we're going to follow up on a lot of that.
I got like teary thinking about your aunts. That's so amazing.
Yeah. And side note, how come every time I tell a woman to smile more, I get in trouble? But
oh my gosh.
Whatever. Things aren't fair. Okay. So you were getting turned into liver and onions on the operating table there, and then you came back with abilities. What abilities did you come back with?
So I guess I want to say, like, when I was 15, I was Reiki certified. So I feel like I already had them, but I just didn't know. Like, 'cause my mom's a medium. And she was like in the closet medium back then. So we really didn't know that she had these abilities also.
No way.
She did. And somehow she always walked us through things, but not knowing, oh, she had this. So afterwards, when I came out, I would get so many dead people showing up in my room that I didn't know. And I'd be like, what's happening? What's happening? And my mom's like, you're going to have to tell them to leave. But I still not comprehending what's really going on.
Yeah.
But just having these experiences all the time. And she's like, you can tell them to leave. You can tell them to come back. And I'm like, just make them go away. I would like cover my head with my blanket just to get them to go away. So I really ran from that for a really long time. Because I was at a point where.
That was after the NDE, or that was like when you were a kid?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
okay.
Oh gosh. I guess, sorry, that part was after the near-death experience. But before all that, I guess, I did have some signs. So before building up to that, I was out with my brother one night. My brother was at my house one night, and all of a sudden he passes out. And I'm like, Joey, what's good, Joey? And I jump on him because he's just out cold. And we're like, what's happening? So I get on and I'm like, Joey, wake up, wake up. And he grabs me and looks at me and he goes, they're all around you. The angels, they're all around you. They're watching you. They're like, don't take them for granted. And I was like, what? And then he drops down and he like comes to and he's like, what happened? What happened? And I'm like, do you know what you just said? Like, not realizing that these were signs, and then I would come home at night from work. I know, right? It was It was he doesn't remember it. And I just remember it clear as day, but it didn't make sense at the time until afterwards, Yeah. And then I would come home from work and I had this painting that I had painted, and I'd come home from work, and I turn on my TV and turn on some Friends, because everybody watched that back then. But this painting caught my eye. And then the painting, there was this face. And it was like, I'd look at it, and honestly, it was a face, it was Jesus. And I'm like, why? It would creep me out to the point of like, all right, I'm just going to go to bed. So I would go to bed, because I would see this face appear. And after the accident, I started to make sense as why these things were happening, and but even my first ghost experience was when I was 8. I just remember seeing this thing in the doorway, just like in the doorway, hanging there, not hanging there. She was floating there. And I was just like, what is that? Rolled over as a kid, scared out of my mind, never mentioned it until later after things. And I was like, that had to have been the start of things, always having it around me. Yeah. So,
oh my gosh,
that's that part.
So you've been able to like kind of rely on your mom a little bit to help you, guide you, at least when you were younger, to help guide you through some of the more uncomfortable stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then after the near-death experience, I went through I'm going to tell you, it was like a good 15 years of a depression because it was like, why did you send me back here? Like, I couldn't make sense of the fact that why would you they're like, we gave you the ability to connect with us, to talk to us, to receive these messages, to receive the love. And I was like, I don't want that. I don't want to be here, So it took me a very long time to come to grips with it. And the thing that happened was I developed a seizure disorder when I was 28 for some reason. No idea. But the last seizure I had was probably 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago. And I remember I was at my mom at this floral shop and we were just picking out flowers. And I just remember not feeling right. And all of a sudden I have a seizure and I'm looking down again at my mom, and my mom is frantic and this other woman's there and they're all helping me. But when you have seizures, you're in limbo. You're in between heaven and earth. And I was given a chance. I was given the choice. Do you want to stay or do you want to go? Like, that's how miserable I was. And I was like, no, I looked down and I saw why I was needed. I was like, no, my mom needs me. Wait, my niece is at home. Wait, my dad, I thought of like, I saw all these things as the reasons why I actually had to be here.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to go. I want to stay. I want to stay. And the next thing I remember, I was waking up in the hospital, getting 11 staples put in my head.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, I'm here. And I was like, I'm here. Okay, I'm here. Like, all right, I'm going to do this. This is life. I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure this out. And I just knew that I had to figure out how to find a way to find that peace that I felt in heaven here on earth. As long as I could find that peace that I felt over there here on earth, then I would be good. And so that's really where I just started the healing and meditation and all that stuff is what brings me that peace.
11 staples. That must have been quite the knock.
Yeah, it was quite the knock.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm one of these people that always need that signier sign. So that was it. I got it.
You got 11 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Jeez. Yeah. Okay. So I have heard before. First of all, you're the first person that we've spoken to that's had like an NDE. Well, actually, we just spoke to Mia,
but
she was a baby.
newborn.
Yeah. So as an adult.
Yeah.
So this is all very interesting, and I probably have some very basic questions.
And I'm currently just sitting here with my mouth open because I holy cow, that's incredible. Like, what an incredible story.
I've
like, what, you don't hear this every day?
Yeah. I have heard of people just from like watching shows and stuff. I'm no expert at all. I have heard of people like coming back from NDEs and having like that deep depression. I don't know. I assume it's like one of the like most intense ways to experience some kind of ego death, or like once you get to that, like, yeah, go ahead.
What I finally learned, because I had to, piece it together, was that you go through a portal. So of course you don't come back the same.
Yeah.
You're reborn. It's
right.
like nothing makes sense. Nothing resonates. Your friends don't make that. Not your senses. You've been stripped of your senses of what was, and now you have what is, and you got to make sense of now. And that's what was like hard to figure out. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes sense. Like, it would be so hard to adjust to. I just saw it's
different.
I saw the other realm. How could I be back here? Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just building on that, was that a sense of like, did you find that before you had, I always find people like who have a lot of trauma or I mean, everybody does this, but they live into their stories a lot. So they feel like they're an accumulation of like everything that has happened before them. And they're just the next logical step of their own personal stories. This for you sounds like a mind eraser a little bit of like, well, that all happened. And now this is the present, like truly the present. Is it kind of like that?
Definitely. And it was great when I finally made that connection about the portal part was, as years go on, we had Facebook, we had all these chat groups, you could get in these support groups. And then I finally started asking questions to figure out what had happened to me. And a woman explained that to me. And I said, that makes so much sense because nothing resonated afterwards. Like if she hadn't made that connection and said that to me about you literally went through a portal. And I was like, that makes sense. And now I get it. And it all just really helped piece it together.
Wow. Okay. There's got to be an easier way than
like slamming into a tree and
sans hydroplaning to like be able to, because I'm assuming like how different, even now that it's been, years since this has happened, or you said even 10 years since you've had a seizure. Is that right?
Yeah.
Even now, like, do you feel so much different than you were before?
I feel so much more at peace. That's for sure. Yeah. I feel like I'm so much more at peace, and I'm so much, happier in my life and in my body and in my mind. Everything's just kind of come full circle. And of course, you're constantly being pushed with new energy challenges and stuff. But it's like I have a grip on. Okay, I can handle this.
What? So, did you see anything in or like beyond the tunnel or
bright light? Just bright light. Couldn't even see past the light. It was so blinding bright. And it was just blinding bright.
You wanted to like walk into it, but your aunts were holding you back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah. It's just like, nope. She carried me out of it.
Oh my gosh.
And then a couple after that had happened. So here's some fun stuff. I kept having these reoccurring dreams afterwards, and it was my grandfather chasing me. And I'm like, is he chasing me? Why is he chasing me? And I told my mom, I said, I keep having these dreams and grandpa's chasing me. And that's the one who was there when I crossed.
Yeah.
And she goes, so turn around and ask him what he wants. And I was like, what do you mean?
Great advice.
You control dreams. And I was like, oh, really? She goes, yes. In your dream, become aware. She goes, just pause in your dream. So that really taught me a lot about how you can actually like ask these questions in dreams. You do kind of control your dream state. So the dream happened again, and I turned around, and it was the most vivid thing ever. He's chasing me down this alleyway, and it was just raining again. The rain from almost the night of the crash light, and he's chasing me. And I finally turn around, and I go, "What do you want from me?" And I scream at him, and he comes up to me, and his face is glistening with the moon, and his big beautiful eyes, and this red tie he wore. He was in this suit, and he looks down on me, and he goes, once you stop running, things will get better.
Oh my God.
And I was like, gulp, like, okay, Grandpa. Yeah.
That one just got
That's
me.
all he had to say.
Oh my God.
Is Grandpa a funny dude?
That's incredible.
Grandpa's an amazing dude. Yeah. Honestly, he wasn't Mr. Sense of Humor when I was younger, but he was fun.
But what an effective way to get that message across.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
so simple, but so powerful.
Mm-hmm. There's so much love that he had for his grandkids and all, like, that's what was felt. Like, it was always, the love for us, it was always felt.
Whenever I hear stories like that, I'm always kind of stunned by the sense of fun that seems to still be occurring on the other side.
Right.
Like,
oh, right.
They have to be creative in their messaging. And that's a very creative. That's so funny to me.
How?
I'd be like, you son of a gun. You got me. Right? You got me this time, Grandpa.
Yeah. I got to tell you another one if you don't mind me saying this.
Please.
Oh, go ahead.
No. I just wanted to know how long those dreams, like what was the period of time that you were having those dreams? Like a couple months?
Maybe 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably 6 months. And then I was finally like, Mom, why is he chasing me?
Yeah.
She's like, well, if you're just, I was like, oh, okay. So,
okay,
and I haven't had another dream of him. I haven't had another dream of him since. And that was like 20 years ago. So recently, I want to say 6 months ago, he showed up in my dream and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Grandpa. Like just seeing his face, it was like, he was right there. Matter of fact, Grandpa. But when I woke up, I was like, what was the message? Why did you show up? And I was just like grateful that he showed up. So I was like, okay, that was cool. You were there, you showed up. But then a couple nights later, I got my message and it was, so I knew it was from him because he had showed me, like I had this ex from way back who was just, horrible, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he shows up in my dream and, I'm in the dream and I'm like entertaining. He's like, will you come to this party with me? And I'm going, all right, whatever, I'll go. And I go to the party and I'm like, oh, what's he doing? Just trying to sit there and act like nothing happened, And I was like, I'm better than you type thing. And I left in my dream. I'm at the party and I leave and I'm in my car and I'm all huffy. And he comes out and he starts sticking these sticks in the dirt. It's my ex sticking these sticks. And I'm like, what is he doing? So he finally goes inside and I get out of my car. I'm like, what is he doing? So I pull these sticks out and on every stick was everything that I had, for him meeting me, I had done for him. Like everything he had gained from meeting me. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh, it was like nuts. And I'm reading the sticks and I'm like,
what?
Okay, this. And I came back and I'm like, okay, that whole chapter of what I felt with that relationship and it had gone away. And I knew it was my grandfather. He was looking at me in the dream like, I'm going to show you something. And that was it.
Wow.
I was like, all right, I had actually done this guy some justice just by being in his life.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Again, with the creative, symbolism and getting the message across.
Pretty wild.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Has the memory of that experience, like being with your aunts and seeing the tunnel and your grandpa, has it gotten fuzzier because it's been a long time since you had that, or is it just as like it happened
Just
yesterday.
as.
Really?
Just as like it is. And it in August 21st will be 23 years since it happened.
Whoa.
Happy
It's
anniversary.
Just as quick. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure, I guess.
I'll have to send you guys some images because I also get some like ghost pics, like they show up in my pictures sometimes.
Yes.
I wish I sent you guys those before, just so you can take a look. I'll send them to you.
I love that
Oh my
stuff.
gosh, please. Yes.
Sometimes when I just want,
Yeah.
so I love talking about this in like the spiritual sense and stuff, but sometimes I just want my ghost fix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
Last night I was like scrolling on YouTube, like just looking for some video that I haven't seen before, and half of it's junk. So when I get stuff from people like you that I like trust, I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
give me the good stuff.
Yes.
Is there like a certain amount? Are you grateful at all for like having gone through that and lived? While it wasn't easy at the time, but you survived, and you're clearly better for it in a way. Do you look back on this whole experience as like, wow, what an interesting life? Or is it like, does it feel more like traumatic?
No, it doesn't feel traumatic anymore, but it does feel like sometimes I don't realize how unique it is. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's just everyday life. And then talking to people, they're like, wow. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's just another Tuesday, don't worry about it.
Because it's so like part of your story. Like it's so part of your life.
Yeah. And with my mom being a medium and stuff, it's like, we've got visitors all the time. So I guess it's so normal now, and my dad used to hate it though. He used to be like, don't tell anybody you do this. Blah, blah, it's weird. And now he's like, go ahead, go out there and tell your story.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool to hear. Like there's been like an adjustment of sorts.
Yeah.
Did your mom ever, was it in any professional capacity, or was she just like, this is just something I have?
Now it's more professional. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She does do readings and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But no, back then it was just hiding out, and then I guess my sister owned a massage place. So she would have my mom do like events there and stuff. So that's how she kind of like came out of the closet and started doing it more. And we're like, okay.
Do any of your siblings have any of this?
Or your niece?
They all do. They definitely
everybody
do.
has like a little.
Yeah. And my brother will deny it. So we won't talk about that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I guess it's just different degrees because I'm not sure how much my sister taps in really. Yeah. I don't know. She's busy with other things. But just specifically my mom and I are really close. So we tap in. And my niece is like developing her stuff. So she's so young that she still is. It's there, but she's not ready to embrace it, Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like the more you heal, the more you grow, the more the more you make space for it to come online, that's how more comes out. Because even the past year, I've had more abilities happen. Just like even my Reiki sessions, I'll get the medium comes through, the psychic comes through. It's all in one. So that's why I call it multidimensional healing, because sometimes I'll be doing Reiki on you, but your mother shows up. And I'm like, okay, now I got to pause. Hold on. So it all just blends together for me.
So let's talk about that real quick. You had mentioned before, like really briefly, did you say that you were doing Reiki work when you were younger, but you didn't enjoy it?
It's not that. So I liked having it done. I would go for my sessions. So I wasn't necessarily working on people, but I was always involved in some kind of spiritual, always involved in stuff like that. So if I needed therapy or healing, I would always go for a Reiki session. I mean, I had a therapist, but I always felt like I got more out of Reiki than therapy.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Than talk therapy.
It's pretty great.
It taps in different. Yeah.
Yeah. Since then, what skills and abilities are you like really leaning into? I know some people stray from like defining specific clairs because it's all one thing, but like where do you find where do you find your abilities come through?
Yeah, I'm gonna mess up with the clairs here,
it's
but
fine.
I do hear music. I will get music. I will.
What? I haven't heard that.
What's you've heard that?
I haven't heard hearing music before.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. So here's a story. And I get this a lot with music. I'll just hear a song and I'm like, what is that? And then I'll Google it, and I'll never hear the song before, but in my head, it's clear as day.
Whoa.
So one time, this is a kind of, you'll like this story, but it's kind of sad. So a couple years ago, I woke up at 3:33 in the morning, and the song Kiss the Rain was in my head. I've never heard this song in my life, but I knew it clear as day. And it woke me up. Like, I woke up and was like, where's that music coming from? Thinking my phone went off or something. And I was like, oh, this song, it was so loud in my head. So I Google it, and it's Kiss the Rain. And I forget the artist, but it's like the beginning of it is, hello, can you hear me? Am I getting through to you? And then it just goes on. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
So I played it, and I was like, okay, something's happening here, but I didn't know at the time. Well, I wake up the next morning and my friend had passed away. It was clearly her. So that every time I hear that song now, it's her.
Oh my gosh.
Who is it?
Billy Myers.
That's wild.
Is that it? Billy Myers? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm trying. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's such a great song.
Hello, can you hear me? Am I getting through to you? Oh my God.
No way. Lauren's on the lyrics right now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Every part of these
melody,
lyrics, that has got to just like
the
cut
melody,
through
everything.
I mean, look at all the like. Is it stormy where you are? You sound so close, but it feels like you're so far. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Lauren's gonna listen to the song later and cry and think of you.
Yeah. And your friend. That's so.
You.
But that's so. Wow. That's so amazing.
That is amazing. What a
Right.
trip. So now you practice multidimensional healing.
Yeah. That's what I call it. Yeah.
Is it like focused on what's your center point? What's your focus? Is it Reiki or?
So my focus is the Reiki.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then the Reiki will take me, and I'll always ask where do we need to go today? Please send me any messages that need to be sent. I know, and whatever happens. And it's always just a great Reiki session, but then, the extras can be added. Does it happen every time? No, not every time. I don't get people that show up, or whatever, but you will always get the message from the healing that you need, so that happens.
Do people, and people who come to you for a Reiki session know that you have this other gift and they're open to receiving messages or something? Okay. Cause I know I know Reiki too. And I don't receive messages when I give Reiki, but that's great that they're like, you got anything?
You can.
They're coming.
Yes.
I know. I feel like I will get there. I get little,
but you know what? It's
pings or whatever.
Yeah,
but
and it's a different frequency though. So every time you're in Reiki, you're in this frequency, whereas a psychic is this frequency, medium is this frequency. So it is hard to jump around from different realms. Are
you able to specify frequencies as you wish? Do you have, how much control over that do you have? Because I already know that you can tune into FM here, so you get music coming through.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's like this. So if somebody's going in for a psychic reading, they're going to tap into psychic. And this isn't the same for everybody, but like my one friend, for instance, she's a psychic, and she does medium, but she will specifically say you either come for a psychic reading or a medium reading, because jumping between frequencies can get mushy sometimes and hard. So you're either she'd rather focus on the psychic or she'd rather focus on the medium, because it is two different wavelengths.
Sure.
I've heard that.
Tapping in. So
yeah, I would assume if you tried to do both at the same time, it would just be dissonance.
Yeah, and Jeff Tarrant, we interviewed a brain doctor,
neurologist.
Yeah. I'm good with words. And he said he's studied the brains of psychics and mediums. Well, Laura Lynn Jackson, she'll see psychic things on one side of her brain, or mediumship on the other side, or however it works.
Right.
But yeah, that's so interesting too, that how does she separate? We're going to do a psychic reading.
I feel it's this big, I feel like a ball of, what is it? I always feel like I'm in a cloud when I'm working on people doing the Reiki, because I am in all sorts of realms at a time. I could feel, I don't know. Do you feel that when you do your Reiki? Are you in this?
I'm not there yet. I'm
cloud.
I think, I'll do the Biosin scanning and be I don't know. I feel like there's a little something kind of warmer here.
Yeah.
So I got like my Reiki master training in March, and then I attuned Frank to just like level 1. And he's like, oh, I feel like your aura and like all
you can tell by that tone of her voice that she's not a big fan of the
but
fact.
I'm annoyed by it because I'm like, what the hell? I don't feel enough. So I get little like what I think are, I don't know if it's like a download or just like a little psychic moment where I hear something and I'm like, I don't know. I'll just say it out loud and maybe it resonates, but it's just like word, like resentment or something. And they're like, oh yeah.
Oh, is that for you, Frank?
There's only one person here with resentment right now.
I'm only ever hearing resentment.
Yeah.
I just hear what the hell over and over.
When you say a cloud, like, do you mean like an aura, or are you just in a cloud of how people are like they're resonating in certain like different various frequencies? Yeah.
So you know what? The other thing is I don't work on anybody in front of me. I only do distance. So that for me might be a difference also, because when I'm in my element, I'm in my zone. Like I don't want to be in front of somebody because I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. I really tap in when I'm in my own space. So when I work on people, I call them, I tell them to lay there and rest, and then they're in their home so they can open up and rest.
Right.
And then I'm in my home and I can do my thing. So that's the other thing that helps. It helps me get into my element more.
If I do in-person stuff, I'm probably a little more in my head.
I'm more in my head if you're in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more in my head.
I mean, that makes sense. Like you're in, a shared space with someone you don't really know. And it's very, physically intimate. Just sharing that space is different than being able to be in your own comfort zone and tap into your abilities.
Yeah.
And tap into your sensitivities.
I've only had a few.
Go the distance, Lauren.
What's it? Go the distance. Yeah.
Go the
distance. Yeah.
It's all still new to me. So.
But even then, when you're feeling that anxiousness, it's also them too feeling, So you have to remember what you're feeling. You could be feeling them.
Totally. Yeah.
Because I'll be like, were you anxious? Were you just like, what are you doing? Because I could not rest my mind. And I'm thinking, I used to think, oh, it's me, my mind. I can't focus. No, it's them. They can't focus.
Oh,
you're tapped in, and
I haven't thought of that.
So trust yourself more.
Thank you.
Because you're picking up them.
Yeah.
Their energy field.
That's so helpful.
That is helpful.
I have a very hard time determining what is mine and what isn't in terms of like picking up other people's emotions.
Yeah.
And like, I think you have
a really hard, I'm like empathic. So I just like feel stuff and I'm like, I don't know. And Frank will be like, you're off. Like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I feel okay. He's like, no, you're not.
My friend Christine Barrett, she's amazing. She is the one who really helped me like hone in on some things because I was having some difficulty. And she's like, listen, learn your vibration. Like once you know how you vibrate, then you're going to be like, oh, that ain't me. That's them. They're the ones who are anxious right now. It's not me. If you can sit there and be like, how you feel, your own vibe is. Yeah. So then you can be able to pick up other people. Yeah.
Oh, that's
You're
great.
Like, oh, that's them.
Yeah.
They're the one that's anxious. I'm not anxious. And even before you work on the client, like I start tapping in 30 minutes before, I'll be like, all right, I'm open. I try to keep it closed off or else I'm walking around
just
lost
wide
all
open.
Morning because I'm tapping. Yeah. So I'll be like, all right, I'm ready to open. I'll tap in 30 minutes before, and then I'll start to feel their energy come at me. And so, but I already know what mine is and what theirs is. So what's coming at me, I know is them.
Do you have a consistent vibration? Are you very like level in your vibration?
No, I'm a hot mess.
Okay. No, I want to hear that because Katie, I'm a hot mess, and I'm trying. You're like, learn my vibration. I'm like, okay, chaos. I'm all over the place.
Yes, it is. Chaos.
If you are kind of like a hot mess, as you are self-described, and as I feel as well, like how do you sift through what's you and what's them?
Okay, so let me make that better. I know my emotions. I know where my stuff is from. So, so I can separate. I know what my mess is. I'm going to say my mess.
Yeah.
So, I know my mess. So when somebody else's mess is blending with me, I can separate the energies. It's different. It feels different.
Right.
Okay.
So And have you ever worked on somebody and you start to get images of all of a sudden you drift off and you're thinking about so and so from 15 years ago and blah, 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 and that's maybe stuff like that. Well, that's actually a download you're getting for them. It's bringing you to a memory. Something upset you back then, but it's actually a message for them, relating to them.
Ooh, okay.
So notice that if you start to drift off and you're in this, when you go back to a moment and it's like a video playing, you're receiving a download.
Okay. Yeah.
That makes sense?
A download that's being presented through your own experience.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, does this explain my ADD? Like,
what do you mean?
The amount of stuff coming in sometimes.
Oh.
And I'm just like, why is this? I'm not even focused on this. Or like, well, not anymore these days, but I used to be prone to unexplainable panic attacks when everything was just fine and I wasn't stressed about anything. I just wonder how much I was accidentally.
You could have been picking up somebody else's energy too, or you were opening up a channel for something to be healed.
Yeah. Okay.
So you had that quiet moment. So it was like, let's deal with this now. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Frank recently gave me Reiki and forgot to close the session. And then
listen, I'm a Reiki baby, so I'm out there doing things just not correctly. I'm just throwing vibes left and right. But
I was not feeling good that day. We ended the day like driving home from an event that we just he intuitively knew I had to leave because I wasn't feeling good. I had like a sinus headache and all this stuff. And he was like, you're not going to say it, but we have to go. And I was like, thank you. Okay. And then we were driving home and he was like, we were talking about Reiki or something and why you have to close things off. And he's like, oh, I didn't do that today. And I was like, is that why you've been so aware of my emotions and like what I'm feeling today? He's like, oh my God. So
like I said, I'm really bad at like, boundaries and stuff.
Have you had that before? He was just like probably wide open to my aura and everything.
I'm just out there blending with other people for no reason.
With me.
With you, yeah. But also it's probably why I'm such a hermit.
He was like, you took a nap for like 20 minutes earlier and I felt better afterwards. And I was like, okay. Yeah, you didn't. That's right. You didn't say like, I forgot about that. Over.
I was working. I was in the studio working here. I was so tired. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And then Lauren texted me. She was like, I'm really tired. I gotta take a nap. I'm like, yeah, okay, go for it. I might take a nap later. And then after her nap, I was like, hey, I feel good. So and then we realized that I never closed my session.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's already
whatever.
I gotta do better.
That's the live and learn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's how you learn, though. That's how you get it. I had a client. I love this client. Her and her husband. I work on both her and her husband. She sends me. She goes, "Oh, John and I were at the fair today, and they had the aura picture thing. She goes, look at our aura pictures, and both of their aura pictures were covered in the red and orange. And I was like, you guys got busy today, didn't you? And she goes, you got some blending of energy going on. And she starts laughing. She goes,
oh my God.
How did you know that? I'm like, clearly, your chakra red.
Oh my God,
that's sacral chakra.
That's so funny.
Was all over them. Both their pictures, different pictures, had red and the orange surrounding them. I'm like, that's so funny. She goes, yes, we did.
That's literally like, hey, you're glowing.
Yeah.
You're glowing.
Right, exactly.
We both are.
Yeah.
We know what happened. That's so funny.
Oh, that's
I go, I know what you guys were up to.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And also being like a psychic, you're like, I see you.
Right. Yeah, right.
You're an aura voyeur.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay. I have a question. Earlier you had mentioned that like from all this experience that you've had, all these life experiences that you've had, that it gave you a new perspective on life. And you said along with that came, some new types of challenges. And I'm interested to know like what types of challenges do you now face or are you working through because of this like new enhanced sensitivity that you have towards all these vibes? I know it's a big one. Good question though. And honestly, so my
newest challenge. So I'm a single mom, but dating. So I met this guy, and I haven't gone out with anybody in 4 years, basically, because I'm a feeler. And I haven't wanted to. I'm in mom mode,
Yeah.
But even meeting you guys, I'm like, I really like these guys, but I'm so scared. And I had to work through, I'm serious. Let me be honest with you.
No, thank you for that.
Through my emotions of, okay, let me feel, because I get so nervous about doing this stuff, but I really liked you guys because I was drawn to you guys, and I'm just like, let me get past my anxiety first because I get overwhelmed with stuff. And it's so senseless too. It's like ridiculous. But that I reached out to, and I was like, but this guy, for instance, I'm like, how is he going to take to this? Now, normally, in the past with relationships, I think hasn't been so aware. That's why relationships have always been like, I see a red flag and I'm going for it.
Oh,
Not anymore. Now I'm on this different level where I know how I vibrate and I know what I want to feel and experience. So I lean into vibration with people now.
Oh, that's cool.
With this new guy, I'm digging this vibe that's going on. And he's a total gentleman, all this stuff, but I'm still pacing myself like, one step at a time. It's still so new, but it's really a new experience of leaning into this vibration, and instead of like attraction, it's always like, oh, you look, hi, but it's not there anymore. Now I like this vibe. I like what, it's inviting. So I'm going to go with this vibration. It wasn't even like a he's so hot type thing. It was, there's something about your vibe that's pretty incredible. I want to get to know.
Yeah. You're looking for vibrational six
like
packs.
Actual soul connection instead of like, I like your face.
Yeah. Like, you're younger. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's the good one. But again, it's those interactions with people.
Do you find that you're like, opposites attract, right? Like, are you looking for people that like help you fill in the gaps that you might need? Or are you looking for someone that just is completely in tune with exactly what you already have going?
I don't want that person. Yeah. I want someone who's going to still challenge me, I guess. But I do want someone, I'll never be with somebody who's like, what you do is I don't believe in. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
I can never deal with that.
No way.
I can never deal with that. Yeah. So I need someone with an emotional awareness, You gotta emotionally, definitely on our level. You gotta be able to.
You gotta keep up with Katie.
In tune. Yeah. But do I want you to be psychic and all that? No, I'd rather you not be.
Let me handle that.
One is enough.
Yeah.
Kind of off topic a little bit, but is the message that you received from your grandpa about running, like, does that ever come up in your current life where you're like, gotta remember that? Like,
I guess
running.
Sometimes I guess I don't necessarily, it doesn't hit as much. I feel like I face things more head on now.
Yeah.
I think it's always there though, because I am somebody who would rather not deal with stuff, but I know I have to, you just have to.
Yeah.
You have to show up. So I know how to show up now.
Yeah. What?
It reminds me of somebody.
What?
My lovely wife is a bit of an avoider sometimes.
As he lovingly pats me on the shoulder.
Lauren lets things like, she puts it off and it builds up emotionally, and then she'll deny that that's happening. You're getting better now.
I am.
But but it causes problems later.
Yeah.
And it is better to deal with some stuff.
It's the same, the fear, anxiety, overwhelm. I'm going to put that over. I'm going to leave this on this shelf here.
Sometimes I don't know what I need to deal with because it's so much, And I tell my clients this too. I said, and then you don't know until you're triggered, and then you have that breakdown, So sometimes I don't know what I need to say or what I need to do. So I try to give myself a lot of grace with that, because a lot of times I don't know what it's supposed to be, whereas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I had a breakdown like a week ago. I was like, I don't have any friends right now that I can hang out with. And I'm like, that's not true.
That's not true.
It wasn't true.
It's just I don't know what momentary feeling,
Yeah.
But like, same thing, like just addressing those feelings in the moment. And like, even the little sparks of like discomfort, like just like, look at it in the moment instead of waiting for it to build up and get into something worse.
When you get so like caught up in your day and like managing your kids and like all the things.
Oh,
you
it's hard
forget to
find
pay
time for yourself.
attention.
Yeah.
To do that. What's it called? Interoception.
Interoception.
What is my body doing?
Yeah. What is your body telling you?
Yeah.
But it's great you have each other that you can do that with. You know what I mean? You can, he's in tune, knows, fix yourself, Lauren. Just kidding. No.
Listen,
that is a weekly conversation. Fix your shit.
Yeah. A lot of my advice comes in the form of a jab. So it's
we only kind of recently discovered that we think it's like an intuitive knowing. But when it comes to me, I'm like, be quiet. Stop it.
Exactly.
Stop being so know-it-all. And he's like, it's not. Not from like a self-righteous place.
I always have to remind Lauren it's not an ego thing.
We're like, we're on the same team. Like, fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't take it for granted. I do appreciate it.
Listen, I'm fine being the bad guy sometimes if I gotta tell you what's up. Yeah,
that's true. We got to be mindful of your time. I just realized we've been going.
I know, but I like you too.
Oh no, I'm having a good time.
Same.
My mom's got my son.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
How old is your son?
4.5, and he's got all this. He definitely has.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a good story for you if you got a minute.
Please.
Yes.
So he, anytime he walks into a church, he will freak out, and it is like not even like a normal freak out. It is something has happened to this child that it is like feet down, not going in, arms like digging feet. You know, like you can't pushing him in the door is impossible.
Oh man,
it's bizarre. Something's going on. You have to know that is from a past life.
Yeah,
like how can it not be? It's
sure.
not normal.
Yeah.
And so I started saying to him, I said to him the last time we went to church or whatever. I go for my own reasons. People don't, So,
no judgment here.
Yeah, you don't know what people are saying.
Yeah,
but I like going because it actually makes me. Do I listen? You can hear whatever you want to hear. I like going because I feel my connection there, my prayer. I like to pray there. For some reason, the Holy Spirit hits me there, and I just bawl my eyes out when I go there to pray.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
It's just something that's for me that happens. That's really bizarre to me that it happens, but it's really interesting. But my son, I said to him, we were at church, and I was carrying him up, and he goes, no, mommy, no, mommy. And I go, okay. I said, what's going on? I said, you're scared? He goes, and I said, do you feel it? And he says, mm-hmm. I said, okay, it's a feeling. He feels the vibration, whether it's, the power of prayer will raise the vibration, whether it's the prayer vibration or something else that's happening. I know he's feeling it. So I'm like, okay, let's go outside. So I'll take him outside. So it's interesting because kids feel vibration, remember? They don't necessarily have the words to say things, so they feel vibration. So I'm like, all right, he's feeling something. What is it? And is it what's triggering this response that's like this? Pretty interesting.
Wow, that's so extreme.
I wonder, is there a chance that it's just like an overwhelming amount of energy and like people go to church for a whole bunch of different reasons?
Yeah.
A lot of big adult feelings entering that space and then
totally. Yeah. He's a Pisces moon, so he's a feeler for sure.
Pisces. Yeah. I mean, it's either that or homeboy was around during Inquisition times and it's just bad vibes in there.
Right? Poor little guy was persecuted or something.
Yeah. That's kind of incredible.
Oh my gosh, wow. Has he brought up anybody that he's like seen or talked to or heard or anything like that?
So what stinks is he actually has a apraxia, so he still can't verbalize. He can verbalize a lot right now, but he's still like at 4.5. Most kids can be able to tell you what they're seeing or something, but he can't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that before it goes away, because they say sometimes the stuff goes away by the time they're 7 and 8 because the world hits them.
Right.
I want to be like, can you tell me what you're feeling or seeing right now? But he can't give me that info. So that's why I really lean into what are you feeling?
Yeah. Oh,
so
sweet boy.
I mean,
one time when he was little, he was in my bedroom. It was like, he was probably a year and a half and he had just learned to walk. And we were sitting on my bed and the window, this window does not make this sound, made this eerie, creaky sound like, and I was like, oh gosh. And you felt the energy shift because when a spirit enters the room, you know it, like you feel that shift. And he just looks at me and gets off the bed and peels himself out of the bed and starts running around the room. Like wherever this spirit was going, he was going and he was terrified. He was getting away from it. And I yelled down, this is when I was with my parents. I yelled down to my mom. I said, get it out of here, Mom. There's a spirit here. Get her out. And my mom was like, hold on. And she's like, it's gone. You know? So,
oh my God.
Like,
oh my God. Your mom's your bouncer. That's amazing.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Oh.
But he was freaked out. So yeah, he definitely picks that stuff up.
That's so amazing.
Wow.
I want a bouncer.
You can go on and on. Yeah.
Lauren's brother passed away when he was 26.
I'm sorry, Lauren.
Oh, thank you. It's been almost 20 years now. So yeah, but
he's still like, around on occasion. And we treat Uncle Ian like our spirit bouncer sometimes to say, dude, can you please like make sure the kids are sleeping all right tonight? Like that kind of thing. So
yeah,
very much his presence is very felt.
We have our kids like, we talk about them. Like if you need, need anything, a lot of people in the family also, like I have nieces that'll ask, I asked Uncle Ian if he would give me confidence to come out of my shell at like summer camp, like at theater camp or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute.
See, you taught them that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Uncle Ian's busy though. He's
got a lot of, he's just traveling around. I've had like, this is why, like when I learned Reiki, I was like, I know, or even just in this podcast, like this journey, I'm like, I feel like I've got something because I've had dream visitations that are just like, well, he was there. Like he was there. So I know if I can have that, like, then I can access it in real life.
Yeah. You definitely will. I think you are just so busy. Are you so busy right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
because that's
busy.
why you're not accessing these other things.
Yeah.
And the less busy, the more space that you end up, we got kids. Kids keep you busy and everything.
Yes.
But the more things that are healed, the things that are out of the way, it frees up space for you, these abilities to come online.
Yeah.
So you got it all there,
Yeah.
I know Lauren's a powerhouse and I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is like a confidence thing. There's some kind of like self-imposed repression.
There's fear.
Yeah.
There's some fear. There's control. Had a lot of like childhood trauma. So
all of it.
It's all the things that are kind of like, it's like, oh no, I can't, or, like, so I've been working on like meditation and positive affirmation, like all those things. But
the more you do it, the more you work your Reiki, the more you do it, the more you're going to get better at it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's like the more you do it, easy, things will start. And then you'll be like, whoa, what was that? Oh, a new ability just came online.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. I like that.
I'm waiting for Lauren to go full like Dark Phoenix X-Men style. Like at some point, there might be a deep cut there, but at some point I know that like you're going to like lean into it. I'm going to say, hey, Lauren, what do you want for breakfast? And your eyes are just going to be glowing red. I don't eat anymore. I know all.
I know all.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
bizarre.
The next level, huh?
Yeah, of course. The natural next step when your eyes start glowing.
And then there's psycho breakfast Lauren.
Oh, and then you're a cup of coffee and you're fine. Everything goes back to normal.
It's just that I was hungry.
We all get hangry.
Yeah. Katie, where can people find you? Where can people contact you and see what you're working on?
You can go to my Instagram, everything.aligns, or email me, hello@everythingaligns.com.
Sweet.
We'll put it in the show notes.
And your current services are, again, we're doing
multidimensional healing.
Different.
And I do have my mother on there for mediumship readings if you want to do a mediumship reading.
That's cool.
I kind of want to talk to your mom.
And if you need an astrology reading, let me know. I'll hook you up with my friend Jessica.
Oh my God, that's great.
So you're a hub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might want to talk to your mom on the show. I want to see. I want the same story from her perspective because I want to know how.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I think that would be very interesting if she is into it.
She would love to. Yeah, she would have a lot to say.
All right.
It's all good about me, though.
Well,
We'll make sure to prompt her properly.
yeah. We've also found it's not great to talk shit about psychics behind their backs because I feel like they're gonna know. It's fine.
They're gonna know.
Yeah. They catch your vibe.
Katie, thank you so much for coming on the show and chatting with us today.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And please keep in touch. Like, I don't know what.
I will.
I say that to everybody because I feel like we're building up to something I don't know what.
Well, we do though. We become like, social media friends with people once we.
I just feel like I have a sense I want to do something bigger with everybody at some point. I don't know what though. I don't know what.
I have a sense you will because I really like you guys. Your energy, you're so inviting. You're so comfortable to talk to. I really wish the best for you. I see big things for you. So
thank you so much.
If you need anything, reach out to me too. Okay. I'll definitely stay in touch and I'll send you
It's the cheap thrills. Give them
cheap thrills.
Yeah.
All right, Katie.
Thank you for spending some time with us, Katie. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Visit www.clairvoyaging.com for show notes, merch, or just to say hi. If you'd like to support our journey, visit www.buymeacoffee.com/clairvoyaging. This has been a production of Wayfeather Media.